What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another Slab Stock Sundays episode. This is technically the first episode of year 2 here on the PWCC Weekly Auctions. As you can see, it's auction number 53. This is episode number 53, and a full year happened last week. So we're coming into a new year here, year 2 of the weekly auctions here on the Slab Stock Sundays show. And Nate, how you doing today?
I'm good. Watched some good football today. And watched some bad basketball yesterday. So
Nate's real salty about those Jayhawks losing by 25 or something at TCU, huh?
And the Bucks.
And the Bucks.
And
yeah, I mean, no Giannis. Giannis, and dude, Giannis has missed like 12 games on us.
I know. It's just still.
Yeah, I know. I successfully just spilled a cup of coffee at 9:30 or 9 o'clock at night, so that's fun.
That's a sign. The sign is you shouldn't be drinking caffeine at 9:30 at night.
Yeah, I know, but I was a little tired, so I was like, let me get this. And now this is not good. So Nate, how about you entertain and let everyone know what we're doing to start this episode as I clean this up?
All right. Well, number one, while Aaron cleans that up, I am impressed because if I drink coffee past like 4 o'clock, I am up till like midnight. So I'm sure a lot of you in the comment section are like that. But we are having a guest on today, Jordan. You've seen him in the comments every single week for the last probably 53 weeks. He has been in the comment section. So we are having him on today to talk his goals with PWCC auctions and how he buys cards and sells and stuff. He also sets up at shows a lot. So we're going to talk to him about setting up at shows and what he is trying to do this year and going forward. And we're looking at the PWCC auction, maybe winning some cards, definitely winning some budget cards. So we'll see. And Hector, real quick, there's been a couple questions for me, so I'm going to answer them real quick. Hector says, Bowman Chrome Sapphire still hasn't sold out. Thoughts? I heard there's no autos from Jim Bro Cards. There's no autos in the set. So if there's no autos in Bowman Chrome Sapphire, that means there's no Jackson Churio in Bowman Chrome Sapphire, which makes it much worse buy. And then there was one question up here from Mike that says, Nate, tell me everything will be okay with the Twins trading away AL batting champ for a pitcher and 2 top prospects. Well, number one, saying a pitcher does not do Pablo Lopez justice. He's a very good pitcher. He's a mid-rotation pitcher that you get for 2 years, for 3 years of Luis Arias, and you get a potential future top 100 prospect and an interesting flyer in Byron Churio, not related to Jackson or Jason Churio. I honestly did not realize Luis Arias would be worth as much as you got. So if you're a Twins fan, I'd be very pumped. You took a strength, which is offense, and moved it into one of your weaknesses, pitching, and made pitching a bigger strength.
I am so embarrassed right now. I don't think I've ever spilled a cup of coffee in my life, and I just did it live on a YouTube show for the first time ever.
Did you get the carpet?
It was just on the table.
Whew.
But it's the wooden table, so I want to make sure it's like clean and dry.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to do this as I'm just making sure this is dry right now. But
sorry, Tech.
What?
Sorry, my guy.
Oh,
he's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, he's a Cowboys fan.
Gotcha. You just can't trust a Mike McCarthy team to have good game management at the end of a game.
Never, man. They've never, ever. All my life, I've seen Mike McCarthy like not have good time management. Here we are. All right, so it is 8:50 p.m. And we are going to bring in Jordan into the live stream. First of all, I didn't get to say hi to everyone that's here. So hi, everyone who joined. It means a lot for y'all being here. Because tonight's our first guest of 2023. We had one guest last year. It was Chris from Card Ladder. We're going to be looking at bringing in more guests this year. And Jordan is actually a longtime viewer of not only Slab Stocks, but Slab Stock Sundays. I think a lot of people probably see Jordan in the comments. If you might know him as the Dirk guy, big Mavericks fan. And we're going to welcome him into the stream right now. So Jordan, thank you so much for being here, my man. It means a lot.
Jordan.
Aaron, Nate, thank you guys for having me. It's an honor.
Of course.
Absolutely. So normally you're in the comments, right? You're dropping, different thoughts. You're probably making fun of Nate along the way. And tonight you're actually here live. So I know that we're not going to be doing this entire episode. So the plan is to have Jordan in here for about 30 minutes. We're going to talk to him about his strategy, different cards he's looking at maybe on the PWCC weekly auctions. He's been doing a lot of these auctions. He understands it a lot. And as Nate mentioned, he sets up a lot of shows too. I heard him say that. So it'll be a really good conversation. But first off, how is it feeling right now being on the live end of the auction versus the sitting at the computer and bidding on the auction?
It's a little weird. I was shocked by the invite, but really excited about the opportunity. So, yeah, I think it'll be weird to watch this back. I don't know that I've really been on YouTube before. So it's kind of surreal, but
Hey,
happy to be
well,
here.
there we go. And that was the plan. We want to figure out a guest, bring in for the first time this year. And we were just like, hey, like what better way than to bring in a dedicated Slapstock Sundays viewer, really get the community going here. So I'm happy you're here. I just want to ask you a couple questions to start about the weekly auction. You can share as much as or as little as you want, I suppose, but more the better to drive conversation. I guess because you've been doing this for so long, a lot of people might jump into these weekly auctions or watch us here and not have done them before, but like, how do you find targets on the weekly auction? You log in here, and if you were to even just sort by weekly auction number 53, there's 8,000 cards ending tonight. Like, that's a lot. Like, what do you do? Like, you sit down on your computer, and what do you do?
I think the first thing I do is typically type in one of one and search for those because for some reason over the past, I don't know, year or so, I've become more and more of a one of one fan collector, however you want to look at it. So that's usually the first thing is I'm curious to see if there are any super fractors, prism blacks, foil fractors, whatever sorts of one of ones pop up. That's the first thing I search for.
So are you in on that Luca right there?
I'm actually not because the national set is not really my favorite, Nate.
Okay.
I just bought a Luca Mosaic Nebula recently, which I'm pretty excited about, and that's sort of more my jam. But it's a beautiful card nonetheless.
I was gonna say, I probably took up a lot of your budget. And also, by the way, I completely glossed over the first things first. Jordan, tell us who you are, man. What do you do, honestly? Like, what do you do? How long have you been collecting cards for? I can't believe I blew that. I've been so frazzled since spilling this coffee, man.
Fair question, Aaron. I appreciate you asking. So I've been collecting cards just recently since 2020, getting back into it. One of my best friends, Brian, who I used to collect with when I was a kid, in I think July of 2020, said, "Hey, have you noticed that sports cards are blowing up again?" And at that point, I'd been out of it for 20 years. I collected from when I was 5 or 6 years old to 13 or 14, forgot about it for 20 plus years. And then all of a sudden started looking into it again and sort of fell back in love. So started out just as, the hobby coming back into my life. And then I started to become, I don't know if you want to use the word addicted, but I was spending way too much time on eBay, on PWCC, on Golden, tuning into all the content I could possibly absorb. Monday mail days were crazy. I'd be getting 10, 15, 20 packages seemingly on Mondays, stuff that was shipped to me over the weekend. And then at a certain point, I realized I enjoyed doing this a lot more than my actual job. I was in tech sales and software sales, and I like cards a lot better. So in July of last year, I started doing this full time, and here we are.
That's
Oh, wow.
amazing. That's amazing. So we have a full-time card buyer, seller, dealer, collector, whatever you want to call it. That's great to hear. I want to pull up a comment here really quick from Alexandre, one of our viewers here. He says, "You want to learn to snipe cards, chat, listen, and learn." He says, he's the guy you don't want to face in an auction, LOL. So that is true. I remember one time we were just starting the Slapstock Sundays, and Jordan's like, "Yeah, I basically have like 700 bids out there or something." Like every single time you were like, "Hey, I'm bidding against you on this card, this card, this card, this card." I would say the word addicted, I would put myself in that category many times in my life too. So don't worry about that.
It's true.
So just really quick, because that was so intriguing before we jump into maybe some more about how the targets you're looking for here. What do you do, like being a full-time card buyer and seller? That cannot be easy. First of all, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of looking. You said between multiple platforms. It takes a lot of shows setting up. Do you find most success buying here, selling at shows, buying here, selling here? Like what's kind of like your philosophy? I feel like a lot of people can learn from this, who even want to just get a little bit into it, even if it's not full-time.
Sure. Yeah. So I definitely look for arbitrage opportunities. I'm using every and any platform, not just PWCC and eBay, which are probably the two most commonly used. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
But I use Golden, I use Robert Edwards, I use Leland's, I use Nate and Aaron's, platform that they just came up with yesterday to list some cards. Like if someone's selling cards somewhere and most people aren't aware of it, I'm trying to find that, because the less eyeballs, the greater opportunity there is for arbitrage. So that's a big focus of mine. And the second piece is the grading piece, because if you have a good eye for cards, if you have a strategy behind what you're doing, that's a good way to increase the value of cards, right? If you're buying either raw cards, getting them graded, getting hopefully 9s and 10s, obviously that tends to increase the value, through slab stocks, using SGC. You guys have had a lot of success, so you can definitely talk about that too. Perfect. And then one of the things that I've used PWCC for is try to find Beckett graded cards that are 9s and 9.5s that I think have a chance to cross over to PSA 10s, or in some cases, even a Beckett 9 to a PSA 9 can significantly increase value depending on the card, the pop report. So those are kind of the two approaches that I utilize for the most part in the business.
Got you. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know that was kind of a big tip there, but I feel like a lot of people who are listening might find some value. Nate, what's up? What we got?
I'm just, would you ever try to cross something that has an 8 surface? Not 3 9.5s and an 8 surface.
Yeah,
He's asking for a friend.
I have a story for you. So by cross, do you mean send in the slab, or do you mean crack it? Okay. Sending in the slab as with an 8 surface, I've never done, but I did buy a 2008 Tom Brady gold refractor on PWCC about 8 or 9 months ago that had, I think, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 8 for surface. It was an 8.5 overall. And I couldn't really figure out why. I noticed there was like a small smudge on the back, but I thought if that smudge comes off or something, maybe this would have a shot at getting a 10, but you never know just looking at pictures. So I was taking a chance. And so I bought the card, I cracked it. I took the microfiber cloth to the little smudge that I saw on the back of the card, and it came off in 2 seconds. It was like ink or something. And it came off, and I looked at the card and thought, was that it? Is that the only reason why this got an 8? Couldn't see anything else wrong with the card, sent it to PSA, and I got a 10. So that doesn't always work out that well, Nate. I've also done that and had it, where the condition of the card's a lot worse than I thought. But, if you try it enough, it could work. So worth a shot.
Got you. All right, getting back to the auction here. So thanks for sharing some of that stuff. But getting back to the auction, when you sit down, like, are you looking at specific categories? Are you looking at literally the entire thing? I know you say you start with 101, but like, how are you reviewing this thing, right? Because like, even for myself, I have to strategically figure out how to review this thing because there's 8,000 cards.
Yeah, I then sort of start typing in like gold refractor, gold prism, red refractor, things like that are cards that are not only that I really like, but that tend to be desirable in the market. Blue refractor, green refractor, everyone loves refractors, right? So I just go with variations of refractors. And from there, I sort of narrow it down to players. So my PC is Dirk primarily, Kristaps. I know Nate's a huge Kristaps fan and loves to give me a hard time every time I bring him up.
Like once or twice.
And so I'll search for my PC guys, and then I'll start searching for guys I try to pick up most. So, Jordan, Brady, Ja, Curry. I don't have an exact system to it. And to be honest, I'm probably forgetting things once in a while, but that's sort of how I go about searching.
I was gonna say a lot of it's in the moment. You're searching and seeing something else that makes you think of something else, and then the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And for a lot of people out there, like too, if you do want to find Jordan cards, obviously there's a lot of different years, and you can filter by the card year, or if you want to filter by just baseball ones, and he's got some baseball cards, different things like that to try and narrow down the search. Do you use a power buyer tool at all, by the way? Like on the night of, like, let's say like right now, let's say you were looking maybe an hour before we hit extended bidding. We already hit extended bidding right now a minute ago. Would you use a power buyer tool ever to go and like find something that, below what the insured value of the card is?
I started to when they first came out with it. But then after I played around with it a little bit more, I realized that I wasn't really sure exactly, what values they were utilizing to determine whether cards were under or overvalued. And sometimes it would filter out cards that were still hundreds of dollars away from what I was comfortable paying for the card.
Yeah, so it's more about using your expertise, I suppose, to find the cards than maybe rely on that. Although I will say sometimes like night of, like when I'm trying to find especially some cards, to give away, like some cheaper ones, it's nice because it filters out a lot of stuff that maybe, I shouldn't be looking at. And when there's 5,000 cards, could be handy. All right.
For sure.
So this is something I've always debated about. We've done a couple different strategies here. I'm sure you've seen it before we've done this very little, but you place like a bunch of bids. They're like at what you're willing to pay early on, trying to maybe like scare bidders off. Do you believe in that tactic? Has it worked for you? Or are you mostly like, hey, extended bidding, I'm there. I'm tracking these 10 cards and I want them and we'll see what they go to. Then you're like bidding every round,
So I bid really early. I'm on, Thursday night as soon as the auction opens up for ending the following Sunday. And I'll do the searches that, we just sort of talked about. And I'll just bid on things, $5, $6, just, like probably one of the first people to bid on most of those, just so I can enter extended bidding. And then at some point between this Thursday and next Sunday, I'll start researching a little bit more to figure out for the cards that are highest priority for me, what's the price that I'm comfortable paying? And then I'll put it in like a Google Sheets and a spreadsheet. So if it's, 20 cards that I'm really interested in that are not $20 cards where I'm okay just winging it, right, and not worrying if I bid $5 too much or not, I make sure that I don't miss stuff and that I don't have to do the research in the moment.
Got you. That makes sense. I mean, we probably target even seriously buying like 5 cards in auction, maybe, and we probably come away with like one or few. Cheaper ones, obviously, for the giveaways is kind of fun just to throw bids in, but a little easier when you're only buying a couple of cards in auction. If you're trying to get 20, try to find those deals as you were saying. So that's a good tip for sure. So you bought a Lion here. So I know I sent you a question before, so I hope you thought about it. But what was your favorite purchase you ever made on here?
The Brady is hard to top just because.
Which Brady again?
The Brady 2008 gold refractor that I bought as an 8.5 and magically turned into a 10. That's a one-off. That's like, it doesn't happen to me. Right. But that was fun.
I'd say it'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's my dream.
That's the one that comes to mind.
Any big PC pickups you've had on here for Dirk or?
I bought a Dirk Credentials. There's like the future and now credentials from, a couple sets. So I bought, I think, 2 Credentials Dirk cards that rarely pop up. Those are great cards. And, I feel like they show up more on PWCC than they do anywhere else. So,
right.
Yeah, I definitely, when those cards pop up, there's probably a few of us who are looking for those and probably getting into a bit of a bidding war. So I can't be as price sensitive, but yeah, those are fun cards too.
Definitely. Okay, anyone, if you have any questions for Jordan, by the way, feel free to drop it in the comments, anything about him and what he does or any cards he's looking at, whatever it might be. But there's a few cards that Jordan pointed out to me that he wanted to.
Hey, Aaron, I have a quick question for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Jordan, if you like Dirk so much, are you then a closet Bucks fan because the Bucks drafted him?
No, but it's good that you know that, Nate, because that's a fun trivia question.
I thought we were close.
He tried to catch you there.
I did.
I think he was probably on the Bucks for, 20 or 30 minutes. So
yeah, tops.
Sort of forgotten.
What's up, Elijah? And what is up, 219? And yes, good luck to Hector bidding on some of his first cards tonight. Hopefully get lucky. I hope so too. And Garrett's, I don't know why someone keeps on bidding me up on Nick Senzel. Saw that card. Pretty cool. All right, so Jordan, we're just going to start at the top here. My favorite, a couple more than the ones you told me, but we're going to start with one of the ones you pointed out. Kylian Mbappe, Optic Gold, of 10, PSA 9. Why do you tell me that this is one that you want me to bring up tonight?
Well, this is still considered a rookie card, but it's not
a rookie still.
Well, I think it depends who you ask, right? The Topps Chrome from 2017 is probably his main, most desired rookie. His 2018 Prism World Cup probably second. This one's maybe a bit of an afterthought, but I mean, PWCC has it listed as a rookie. It's the same year as the Prism World Cup. And I think if you like the card, which I happen to like the design, I think it's a pretty clean design. I think it's still a pretty significant card, just not nearly as expensive, of probably one of the two best young players in world soccer. And you don't see his golds from any of those sets pop up often. So for those reasons, I think it's kind of a pretty significant card.
I definitely think it's a significant card. And Alexandre says the true rookie is his sticker, which true 2016 foot. A lot of collectors consider that to be the true rookie. 2017 selects another big card for Mbappe. Just shout out to Select. But what I think about this card is that a lot of people do consider the 2018 Prism a rookie in a sense, right? It's the first time he's really featuring a French kid in an importing card. It's the same exact printed year as this Optic. So it's either, I think it's either you have to consider both the Prism and Optic a rookie, or you consider neither a rookie. This doesn't have the Raid rookie logo like the Vinicius Jr., like the Phil Foden has from the set, the Alphonso Davies. But if you consider the Prism World Cup a rookie, I don't know how you couldn't consider this or the French card from this set one. Which I understand people kind of choose all those together. To me, I would consider the Topps Chrome and the Select, rookies prior to this card, but I also still think it's significant for reasons that Jordan stated. It's at 3,500. I actually saw this one at the Dallas Card Show. I know you're pretty frequent at the Dallas Card Show. I saw this probably like a year and a half ago there. I think it was a BGS 9 that was valued around 10K at the time, but we know how expensive cards were about a year and a half. We've got some questions for Jordan here in the chat. First one from the SCP-7. Are there any sports you do not bid cards or you do not bid on for cards? I know you like a lot of different things, Jordan, but is there anything you're just like, I don't know that enough to even try?
I own one or two graded hockey cards. I think they're both Ovechkin because I don't know a ton about hockey. So it's kind of dangerous for me to spend a ton of money in a sport that I'm not as passionate or knowledgeable about. So that one comes to mind. Outside of that, I mean, F1, baseball, football, basketball, soccer, I do, all five. So
and it's all fair game for you because I'd assume as a dealer, you literally have to have everything. I mean, you can't pigeonhole yourself to one thing or two things.
That's a great point. I mean, some dealers are, focus on one or two and just have incredible showcases filled with, let's assume it's soccer. And then they just have, Messi autos and Mbappe autos and Haaland autos and Ronaldo autos and low numbered cards. And then that's the dealer to go to at the show for soccer. There are a couple of those. But I like sports so much, it's hard for me to pick one or two and just avoid the rest. So yeah, I have a little bit of everything.
If you were a dealer at the Nationalist last year and you had baseball specifically, you wasted a lot of money getting a booth at the National because baseball did not move. And I think a lot of people have learned that lesson where you just can't be one if you've got a booth.
Yeah, I mean, Nate, we might have sold like one or two baseball cards max.
Yeah.
And go ahead,
Jordan.
Well, in hindsight, Aaron Judge was probably not a bad guy to pick up at the National, so shame on us for overlooking that.
It's true.
That is very true. A couple more questions here. Oscar says, you don't have to give a specific number, but is there like a specific amount of cards? Oh, a specific amount. Is there a specific amount of cards you try to bid on each auction or buy each auction, excuse me? So you constantly are getting like a flow of inventory. And I know you say you're setting up a couple shows soon here. I think Culture Collision is one of them. So are you trying to like get to a certain number? Do you have like goals to hit?
I mean, I'm okay walking away from an auction with 0 cards because I don't want to force it if there's no PC cards that are right for me or if things are overpriced. I'm okay with that. It doesn't happen often, but I'm also okay walking away with 25 or 30 cards. That's happened before too. So I don't really have, a quota that I set for myself and say, okay, I need to buy X amount of cards. PWCC is an amazing resource, but if I'm not finding the cards here, then I'll use, I'll post on Instagram or I'll try to buy more on eBay or wherever to make sure that I'm not light on inventory.
For sure. And this is more of a good question, but like one I haven't heard very often, honestly, from Scott, which probably makes it even better in my opinion. Do you make any plays based on the serial numbering of the numbered cards, such as jersey number 1 out of whatever, reverse 1 of 1, like 56 out of 65? you ever thought to do that? Jersey number maybe most common of all these.
Yeah, so Scott's one of my closest friends and kind of the person that I, do the most in the hobby with. So appreciate him being in here and asking the question. I think in general, the hobby tends to look favorably upon number one of X in a set and jersey number for the most part. Other people will come up with other random permutations and combinations of numbers and say, "Oh, this is desirable. It's one-off jersey number, or it's a 81 something." And in some cases, for Kobe, that actually has value too. 81 for 100. But people usually are reaching, just trying to market their cards. But yeah, I think if you track it and compare apples to apples, the jersey number, serial number, and the number one usually carry a premium, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20%, depending on the card. So if I'm looking at an auction and feel like I can buy a card for the same value that, actually is worth 10 or 15% more, then I absolutely will look for that.
You can do this, and then last question, and then we're going to move on to some more of these cards. But you can do this in terms of percentages if you want, or don't answer at all. I mean, it's totally up to you. It's private information, obviously. But he said biggest loss and biggest gain on a card from Jack. Just curious. No worries if private.
No, I'm fine answering the question. Probably like 5K in both directions. I took about a 5K loss on a Pedri Red Wave Finest Auto that I sold on PWCC. I don't know, Nate or Aaron, if you remember that card.
I was considering getting in on it. Yeah, and don't worry, I've also taken some losses on certain soccer cards if they're bought at the wrong time.
So there you go. So that was my biggest loss to date. Biggest win was a Jordan Metal Universe Championship Galaxy that I bought at a show in Phoenix, which is where I live, as a BGS 9, cracked it, and somehow it got a PSA 10. And so that went up nicely in value. Again, that's a one-off. It doesn't happen often, but
right.
Probably about 5K in both directions.
Scott says, appreciate the shout. Thank you for the insight. There you go. Jordan, resident Dirk Nowitzki collector here, had a card to point out. What card do we have here?
Yeah, so this is first year Prism, and the green is one of only 4 parallels in the set. Now, if you're looking, three parallels, one of 4 total if you're looking to rainbow. Thank you for calling me out on that. You're right, Aaron. Now, if you're looking to rainbow Prism, good luck, because there's, Nate, 50. How many parallels? 74? Who knows?
100 million? Like, it feels that way.
Yeah, it's crazy. But in 2012, there were only 4. So this is a retail exclusive parallel, which almost never pops up. I don't know what the print run was. They didn't announce it. It's the secret, like a lot of stuff with Panini. But, I mean, this is a Pop 2, none graded higher in BGS. It's a great card. I don't have the gold, which is the most desirable and expensive one. So if you're looking to go for the rainbow, you definitely need the gold. But great card. I was kind of going for it, and probably will have to bow out at some point. But, yeah, you don't see these often.
So this is like one of the most nostalgic cards for me, because I started opening 2012 Prism when I was in middle school. When the packs released, I just saw Kobe on the cover. I love Kobe. Saw new kind of brand after Topps Chrome, and just needed to open it. A couple dollars a pack, and the greens fell maybe 3 per box, 3 per 24 packs, 3 to 4 maybe. But I just looked, Jordan, as you were talking there, and there has been 11 sales, actually less than that, because some of these aren't even this exact card. There's probably 4 to 5 of these sales since the release in 2012 of the Dirt Green. That being auctions, because they're buying now, track back, 15 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever. 10 years, whatever it is, 11 years ago. But that's a low amount, right? Like, that's a low amount. Greens now, they print a bazillion of them. So like, these greens are very sought after. Honestly, doesn't seem too bad at 220. All right, and then one more card here. 1 of 1, Craig Biggio. This is quite the card here. This is the the masterpiece. So this might have been one of the first years of 1 of 1 cards, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 96 or prior had 1 of 1. So if this wasn't the first year, it was close. And then this pops up, as soon as I do my 1 of 1 search. This set is one that's sort of a, legendary set, the, Flair Showcase Legacy Masterpiece. I've never owned one of these cards, but I've seen a couple in person, and they're beautiful cards. So just from an aesthetic standpoint, it's desirable. And Craig Biggio was, Nate, correct me if I'm wrong, but probably one of the best second basemen of our lifetime.
Definitely. I mean, there really hasn't been that many amazing, at least in my lifetime, amazing second basemen to write home about. So,
And one of them was a cheater. So Jose Altuve.
Okay.
oh, I was like,
Robinson Cano also.
well, Robinson Cano, cheater as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just knocking them down the list.
But that would make this card more special then, right, Jordan?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he was part of the Killer Bees from the 90s. When I started following baseball growing up as a kid, the Killer Bees were someone I hated facing growing up as a Dodger fan. It seems like Biggio, Bagwell, Derek Bell played pretty well against us. I wasn't a fan, but looking back, I have a lot of respect for what they did, and I think he's a Hall of Famer. Nate,
He should be.
should be.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Nate. But
Well,
but yeah,
here's the thing. There's times where I think somebody's a Hall of Famer, like just in my head. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
65 and a half WAR Hall of Famer.
And then they aren't. Sal Bando, former Brewer and former GM of the Brewers, just passed away last night. And in my head, I said, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I know he won multiple World Series with the A's, and I look it up. 61 WAR, no Hall of Fame.
Dang. Crazy.
wow.
503 trading cards seems to be on the same wavelength as Jordan here. Never stop buying cards, keep buying. And honestly, if you're very active in the market, obviously market that changes all the time, but if you're constantly buying and selling, you're kind of always having to capitalize in different moments. I like that what 503 says. Now, obviously, if you can't always buy if you're never selling unless you just have a limited budget, but you got to figure out how to play the game, I suppose. Now a few cards here, and I should have brought these up to start the show, although I'm doing it at the end of the segment here, Jordan. But you've got some cool cards anytime. I actually have my jacket on. Ironically, I've got my Olympic jacket on right now. You've got a couple of Olympic cards here. Tell me about these. I mean, this is on card, right? From 2012 Pop 1. That's quite the card.
Yeah, it is on card. I sent it in a long time ago, and we know the PSA backlog, they didn't exactly return those quickly.
And to clarify really quick, Jordan's selling these tonight. I didn't clarify that at first, but you're selling this card tonight.
I'm selling the card. If I had it to do over again, I'd send it in and have the auto graded too, because it's a beautiful auto. And as much as we all like PSA 10s, 1010 is even more fun. But you can just visually see the auto. And yeah, Carrie Strug was Olympic hero in the 96 Olympics. She hurt her ankle pretty badly on the vault. I don't know if, going down a rabbit hole here, but long story short, the U.S. needed her to deliver a high score to win the team gold medal. And she did, and sort of landed on one foot and was carried off by her coach. And, that sort of stands out in my mind. I watched the highlight back today, but yeah, kind of like she doesn't have many cards. A lot of people might not know who she is, but kind of an iconic U.S. Olympian.
This set is super sick too. I love how it's got like the champions there. It's got like the gold behind it. Very, very cool. I also want to be cognizant about the time because I know that you're an active buyer on here. It's 9:20, so the extended bidding window is coming up very soon. But last thing I want to call out here, Jordan, before we thank you for being here, unless you don't want to go bid, but I suppose you do. You sent me this card and you're like, hey, I think you and Nate might find this funny. It's Brett Favre SI for Kids card. He's on a beach, but I heard you predicted six figures on this one tonight, Jordan.
Seems reasonable. I mean, it's currently at $13, so it has a long way to go. But
Nate, go ahead, Jordan.
I like cards that are just sort of funny, make you smile. You don't see every day. Obviously, it doesn't have significant value, but it's cool. It's sort of a conversation piece. So, yeah.
I was gonna say, when we're picking our last card tonight, I might have to pick this one because clearly to get to six figures would probably go until tomorrow morning. So
well, you'd be picking it till next week.
Seriously.
We'd still be here next Sunday at this rate.
And Jordan, you've got a friend in 503 cards. He says, I buy everything I've been at Addict since 2003. LOL. we all have a friend in 503 trading cards. I'll say that. Jordan, any last thing you want to share here before we bid you adieu and let you do your thing and maybe get that dirt? It's not extended yet, so I don't want to keep you too long here. But what else you got? Last thing.
I appreciate it. No, I mean, thank you guys for having me on. I'm sure, Nate, to have another bald person
That's true.
on the show.
It's always
know?
nice because Aaron has a hair, too much hair.
He
We don't
didn't
want
want to compliment me. He's going to say nice hair, but he didn't want to compliment me.
That's true. I try as hard as I can to not.
Yeah, it must be nice, Aaron. But no, it's been great being on. I'll be at the Atlanta show set up as a dealer this upcoming week. So anyone who plans on going to the show, has questions, whatever, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope to see a lot of you in person. And then in 2 weeks from then, which is Super Bowl weekend, Nate and I will be in Burbank for that show. So I'll be set up there as well. And that was a great show last year. For those of you who were able to attend, incredible show. The venue is way too small. Now they got a much bigger setup, so should be even better. And so yeah, hope to see a lot of you, meet you guys in person, and please feel free to reach out on Instagram if you have questions, if you're going to be at the shows or anything.
Hector says Burbank show will be great. I hope that you all have a great time there. And Jordan, let people know where they can find you too on Instagram or contact you. Because I mean, honestly, people have some good questions for you. You're showing a lot of insight here, so I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, so my Instagram is Jordan's Cards 41. Again, JORDANS Cards 41, no space. Not the most creative name. At some point I might look to you guys for some pointers on a better business name, but the 41 is to honor Dirk, who, I've been a super fan of for 23 years. But yeah, I'm on Instagram all the time. Send me, buying, selling, whatever. If you see something on my page you like, feel free to reach out. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. So that's probably the best place to get me.
So I just dropped his handle in the chat. And I also dropped the link to his page. Hector's already going to give him a follow right now. Everyone, make sure you go give Jordan a follow. If you're listening on podcasts later, please search at Jordan's Cards 41 on Instagram. Regular Slabstox Sundays listener and watcher. Jordan, I really appreciate you taking the time here on Sunday night to join. And good luck with the rest of the auction, my man. I hope you get some cool things.
Thanks, Aaron. Nate, you too. Really appreciate it. And we'll talk soon.
See you, Jordan. All right, Nate, what do you think about Jordan's feature here? First time.
Good stuff. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it's nice to get somebody else's perspective than just you and me.
I know. I feel like you and me sometimes we don't know what we're talking about. So we gotta get Jordan in here. Get smart people like Jordan in here. But
That's right.
he, like you mentioned, like that's the first time I think he's ever really been on a live stream or YouTube or whatever. And I thought he did great. He really gave a lot of insight, and I know that Jordan's a very nice guy. Met him in Vegas, met before that even. But he's here to help. He's here to help. He did this for a reason. He did not have to come on here on a Sunday night and share how he does business or how he, strategically does things. But I think hearing from more than Nate and I, like Nate said, it means something. I hope that everyone found insight in that. So feel free to give him a follow on Instagram, like I said.
Hey, quick question. Did you bid on Castanheira this week?
Was it the Bowman Chrome Orange Auto? I was going to, Nate, but the amount of times I've been on his cards and like nothing works out, I just did not this time.
That's true. It's just so nice.
It's a cool card, and I'm not insanely in love with the Bowman Chrome Auto rookies necessarily, but
that's true. It's still on card though.
Yeah, no, it is a nice card. It is a nice card. Don't get me wrong. I should have been on. Oh, dude, I really messed up. I think I could have gotten is at the Oak Creek show earlier this month as our Julian. There was a Green Ob 99 PSA 10 of Bellingham from Merlin. It was there for $225, I think. There's an Aqua of 175 Speckle, which is like not that cool with parallel in my mind.
Well, unless it's a Speckle from 2021, like the one I sold for like $40 on
True. But all I'm saying is that Green Ob 99 PSA 10 would have definitely sold for over $300 on here based on that.
Yeah, but you can't,
Can't win them all.
Unless you're Arsenal, of course. Then you can take on a Man U team that's won 6 in a row and score
they
in the 90th minute to take home that victory.
They didn't win 6 in a row, dude. They drew against Crystal Palace. So
whatever.
But hey, I gotta say, Nate, as much as I don't want to see you I want to see Andrew happy. I definitely don't want to see you happy. But as much as I don't want to see you happy about Arsenal winning the league, the more you can beat Man U and Newcastle and Liverpool and these other teams above us, bro, I'm telling you, our attack is going to be so nice come like 2 weeks from now when Felix is back. And dude, Mudrik's debut was amazing. I don't know if you saw any of those highlights, man. He's amazing. So
dude,
Steven,
the guys you were signing are worse than the reserves on our bench that are getting thrust into action because of injuries. Okay.
Okay, well, Nketiah is actually like a solid player, anyways. But either way, Stephen Pitt says great interview. I'm glad that you appreciate that. SCP says following right now. That's great. That was not sarcastic. That's awesome. I'm really glad you're throwing Jordan a follow.
Is this the week we buy a Jordan Love
So
finally?
that's what I'm asking you, man. I feel like that.
We have to have one. I
feel like we're trading him too. Rodgers as not Love.
You think we're trading Rodgers or Love?
No, Rodgers. I have a deep down feeling that there's going to be a mutual agreement to move on.
Well, here's the thing. Either we're keeping Rodgers and guaranteed trading Love because I don't think they're going to give him a 5th-year option and keep him and pay all that money just for 1 year. So I think they're going to trade him to get, likely after what he showed in brief time this past year, a first-round pick for him. Or we're trading Rodgers and then Love's cards are going to go up. So either way, I'm pretty sure Love's cards are going to go up. It would have to be like some absurd scenario where we have both of them on the team next year.
I would have to agree with that too. So either way, I mean, it could be a good decision, and we definitely have to get one. Now, I need this too. These are not easy to find. And Nkunku PSA 10, he's coming to Chelsea next year. He's an absolute stud. I will not listen to any other commentary on him. He is a beast.
Wait, he's not at Chelsea right now?
No, because Leipzig's not. They're in the Champions League, round 16, so they would never give him to us right now. They could actually make a run with them.
Oh.
Yeah, but we agreed to like a $60 million deal, which is a steal compared to some of these new deals.
Compared to what you gave up for
Mudryk? Yeah, but those are add-ons on top of that. So it'll get to 100 mil if we win the league and we win Champions League, I think.
Look how nice that Independence Day looks. Imagine if you could have that or just red stars around the border. Which one would you rather have?
Oh, definitely that. But I bid on that for a specific reason because I was going to actually look up and see how much it sold for at one point because it's $110 right now. That's not like their debut or the All-Star edition. Also, you remember Muhammad Kudus from the World Cup?
Yes.
He plays on Ajax. He plays on, I don't want to get this wrong, but I think it's Cameroon. In the World Cup, he did extremely well, and the numbered out of 195 was selling, I think, for like $100 and some around the World Cup. Most recent one did 35, but 125 didn't seem too bad on that. He'd have to really make a move to make that worth it. Yeah, this clock is winding down quite quickly here. I'm thinking Harry Kane's a decent buy right now, given that a move could be in the future, considering that Conte, their coach, is going to leave. He says he's going to leave at the end of the season, and if Man U buys them, man, they're going to be right in the thick of that title hunt next year. I think they're much improved. I can't even talk down to them right now. But we already have a couple Kane from 2015, so not really needing to buy a 2021. That interview with Jordan was awesome. I think it was super valuable, but I'm for sure going to be missing a couple of these cards. And I'm probably made him miss a couple of these cards too. But guess what? The cards don't matter. The people do.
That's right.
That's 100% right. That's a really cool.
Are we buying that Kai Havertz?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, second one shows up.
What is that? What is that? Is that Brandon Marsh? Oh, it's Nick Senzel.
That's the Nick Senzel.
There was a Brandon Marsh that was up here that sold under $100 months and months ago before the World Series, and like part of me was like, that seems like just a good deal because it's out of 5 and Brandon Marsh still has potential, but I never like pulled the trigger on it, and then he's doing pretty well in the playoffs, and I gotta imagine if somebody had sold that card then you would have like doubled, tripled up.
The Brandon Marsh card?
Yeah.
The gold refractor?
Yeah, there was a Topps Chrome Heritage Gold out of 5 that's PSA 8 that sold on PWCC multiple times.
Dude, I think I have to buy this. Rich Gannon on-card patch auto. You know that he ran a couple of the camps at my high school?
I know all about Rich Gannon.
Oh.
And your now married brother that went on to prom with his daughter.
I completely forgot that you knew about that. Yeah.
One time in Minnesota, we drove past his car twice in the same day.
Oh, I remember that. Did we see him driving?
Yeah.
That is too funny. That is too funny. We need to grab a couple cards for giveaways too.
Jake Merck says, "Don't bid on Gannon, please, and thank you."
Did he actually say that?
Yeah.
I'll let him get it. I gotta let collectors get their cards. Try and bid on a few things here for some giveaways and peruse back to the top. Also, if anyone, hey, I should say this, because Jordan did an excellent job today. If anyone that's a regular Slab Stock Sundays viewer, either liked what he had to say or also think that you could bring value to the Slab Stock Sundays community by coming on our episode live here with us and talking for 20, 30 minutes before extended bidding really starts, feel free to shoot us an email, info@slabstocks.com. Like Jordan was the first one that came on this year, but if you are passionate, if you want to share some things that maybe you've learned over the years and think it could benefit others, please feel free to email us. I can't guarantee that like we can bring everyone on because there's a lot of people that come and watch these things and listen to the podcast, but we can try it to get a couple people, and I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
To do that more frequently. I think there's a lot of good comments on there.
Hey, can I share something I've learned over the last couple days?
Yeah, wait, should I buy Jerry Jeudy right now, bro? He's at like an all-time low.
Sure. They get a new head coach in there that actually might be able to use him.
Yeah,
Though I will say, in researching today for the Daily Slab, I found a premium patch auto number to 75 of Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up 21%. Non-graded 4-color patch. Not the same card, but 2 different cards, but 4-color patch on both cards. And it's up 21% since August, early August.
Okay.
And he was 9th in the league with 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. He is in the NFC Championship game, and it only moves 21%. It's like, what do these wide receivers have to do to move? Now, maybe potentially some of that is A.J. Brown was ahead of him, so people are paying attention to him and not Devonta Smith. But it's kind of interesting. Like 9th in the league in yards, second year, 7 tutties, 21% movement on a very nice card. Doesn't seem like enough.
So we're currently outbid on Jordan Love. It's a helmet patch auto.
There's others.
We'll find more Jordan Love before the Rodgers.
Of course, we're going to say that every single week until we end up with no Jordan Love. But
that's exactly what's going to happen. I do feel pretty dang good about this Oscar Piastri though at 185 right now. He's going to be racing for McLaren this year. He's 21 years old. He's going to be the youngest driver in the grid. One of 3 rookies this year. And that seems like very good for his gold sapphire F50 PSA 9. We'll see. I'm not sure I'm going to win it, obviously, but we'll try. Instead of the Love, I think it's a better buy right now, especially because that Love's a little bit over some of the last sales. Nate, should I buy Baker Mayfield?
You think he gets another? You think at the end of this year was enough to convince another team to give him a starting gig?
I like to see what happens because obviously, like, I'd be surprised if he'll be back with the Rams if no other team steps up to sign him. I think at least as a backup. Like that's a pretty solid backup and a good team I feel like to be with Sean McVay and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how a team could give him the job without bringing in serious competition to compete with him. Where he might miss out on the job. He might get benched because while he had a couple nice outings with the Rams, specifically the incredible comeback.
Yeah.
It just feels like at this point, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on who needs QBs. And I mean, there are teams that are clamoring for Derek Carr right now.
True.
So, and he's owed a lot of money, and you could probably get Baker Mayfield for a lot cheaper. So, I mean, there's possibility. But there's definitely going to be quarterbacks out there, not only the first round picks, but Justin Fields might be available if the Bears want to use their first pick on a QB. Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers might be available. Derek Carr is going to be available. So there's some QB movement to be had this offseason.
Hey, I gotta say, excuse me, if you are a soccer fan, Ronaldo fan, just want to buy card of a legend, this is probably the single best time you could ever buy Ronaldo. But I'm not saying that from like you could make money in the future, right? We have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea how this is going to go in Saudi Arabia. He's just played his first league match today, didn't score a goal, and ESPN's going crazy. He didn't score a goal in his first league match in Saudi Arabia. But we know he's an all-time legend. We know he's one of the best of all time. And this on-card flawless auto, there's only one flawless set ever. In my estimation, the best soccer set ever made, modern soccer set ever made. And this was a $10,000 card all day in 2021 or more. And that's not to say that you can make money. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like from a purely buying perspective, this is the best time you could have bought it in the last few years now. And who knows if he bounces back his prices once he retires. We've seen it with a couple guys where, specifically with Albert Pujols, but he really like that would have to be Ronaldo, like coming back to a top flight league and winning a Champions League almost would have to do that. And I don't foresee that happening with this long deal in Saudi.
Would you say that if you're buying this card, it has to be like a 10-year investment and not a 6-month, 1 year?
Definitely not 6 months or 1 year. 5 years plus if you are able to hold it. Just because of how good of a card is and how meaningful is the game of soccer. And I'm not even a Ronaldo fan. I'm admitting that I'm a Messi guy, but it just feels like when you see like that high caliber card come up that used to sell for well over 10K before he left Man U, if he were just retired after the World Cup and not said a word, I'm sure it would be a completely different story right now.
Yeah.
Yo, Andrew Kim just won the 2019 Chrome Holland rookie auto PSA 10. Congratulations, Andrew.
Nice.
That card.
Did you tell me he had a hat trick today?
Dude, he had a hat trick today. One was a penalty, but one was, I think, there's a turnover and they scored. But the first goal was a header. Yeah, no, he just finds the net. It's as simple as that. He's got 25 league goals, man, and it's only like halfway through the season. He's broken the highest goal scoring totals over the last 5 seasons, like per player already halfway through the season. Last year, Salah had 23. He's got 25 now.
Hey, there's a couple comments in here that I feel like should have been mentioned somewhere. If I'm blind, one, Jordan thanked us for having us on. Jordan, thank you again for having you on. Hector won a Bill Ripken era card, a classic always. Oscar won a 2020 Topps Chrome Merlin UEFA Green Charles de Ketelaere out of 99. Big John won a flawless Eloy auto out of 25. Streak continues. The best thing going on Slab Stock Sundays is Big John's streak of picking up a Chicago card every weekend. And then here we go. So Garrett said, Nate, what do you think about Max Meyer and Brennan Davis? And then Pat B said, Nate, who's your next Jackson Chourio? I'll answer the first one first. Max Meyer has never been a really big strikeout guy. The Marlins have been very good at maximizing pitchers, so I do expect Max Meyer to be good at some point. But for me, if you're not a big strikeout guy, I just don't know how you capture eyes, especially nowadays where pitchers are better and better. Like mid-3 ERA, low-3 ERA just doesn't do it enough. You need to combine that with huge strikeouts or ridiculous streaks like Sandy Alcantara did. And so like Max Meyer, I think he's going to be a very nice pitcher, but unless he's pumping like 12 Ks per 9, I don't know if I'd want to invest in him. And Brendan Davis, he struggled so much last year. I don't know what to think about him right now. So it's kind of a wait and see for me how he does this year. I know that's a little bit of a cop out, but I mean, it really was a struggle last year. He had a $130 in he hit under 200 in every single level he played in. Now he only played five games in rookie ball, 5 games in high A, and then 43 games in triple A, but it was a struggle all the way across the board. And then real quick here, Aaron, I'll take 2 more seconds. Nate, who's your next Jackson Chourio? I don't really have one. I haven't had a good feeling on anybody yet. I wanted to buy a lot of Emmanuel Rodriguez, and I just never got around to it. And then his prices went up. I like him a lot, 19 years old, and had better walks than strikeouts. But
you did get one though.
I did. I got a sapphire base and a pink mojo SGC 9. For a combined like $35. So I guess I'm in it a little bit, but I was looking to get autos at $50 and now they're up to like 75, which I should probably still buy at, to be fair.
Sometimes that makes you more confident though.
Yeah. But for me, I say I could have bought at 50. I'm not going to spend 25 extra dollars to buy now. Cause I'm always like that.
You have been like that for as long as I've known you.
Yep.
So I know this guy's like not necessarily insane, but it's a white mosaic rookie number out 25 PSA 9 that I figured we could give away tonight. This is going to be the giveaway for the night, but I want to bring up the fact that we just won this for what, Nate? $30.
Hey.
So that was one for $30, which will be given away. The Terrence Mann Silver PSA 10. So for an all-time high, $500, June 19th, 2021. 2019 Prism Silver PSA 10, Nate. Yeah, it's a $30 card now, the Silver PSA 10, which if the Silver PSA 10 is a $30 card, I'd way rather have the Mosaic white out of 25 on PSA 9, which a lot of people like the white mosaics too. And also I know that I kind of gave a fist pump. Nate was talking, but this for $200. I'm very psyched about this. I've got quite a few in Kunku going right now in the
They number
collection.
stickers.
What?
Oh, that's not numbered out of.
No. That's like the 708, 709 card number. 708's in Kunku, 709's the other guy. Which maybe I should know who he is, but I don't. And then we got the Jerry Jeudy, $43. I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, I
And
mean,
you get a new coach in there that can actually work with Russell Wilson and stuff. I mean, you could have a 1,300-yard season, and that $43 card is an $83 card.
I just know what's going to happen. So Kai Havertz is going to score a few goals over the rest of the season. Bayern Munich's going to buy him, and we're going to take like a $20 million loss. He's going to go to Bayern Munich. He's going to score like 30 goals a season. He was insane for Leverkusen, dude. Like, he was so good. This is cheaper than we bought last week's at.
Dude, we should just buy a second one for kicks and gigs.
Buy a second
I
one.
really like that Luis Arias.
So I bid on that because I wanted to bring up to you about the trade. I know someone brought up earlier. You like what the Twins didn't capitalize with when they did? I got a lot of friends that are Twins fans. So
I love what the Twins did. They took a strength, which is their offense. Yes, he was batting champ and everything. I get it. But their strength is their offense. And they took that and they shored up one of their weaknesses, which is starting pitching. Especially they had a decent number of injuries with starting pitching. And you got guys like Royce Lewis that when he gets healthy, he could slot in at second base because he hit well. And so it's like it's not a big issue there. You got replacements for him. And then you get Jose Salas, who could end up becoming pretty decent himself. Just from a tool standpoint. So I love the trade. And it's 3 years of Arias for 2 years of Pablo Lopez. He's a mid-rotation arm. I'll take that all day long.
There you go. You heard from the man himself. So I was doing some research here on this Piastri because I still think that that's a pretty solid price. The last color, man, his stuff does not. People are not selling his colors. There's been barely, anything to sell. A gold PSA 8 sold last September for $500. So this is a very good deal compared to that. Obviously, time goes on. Some cards can drop.
Who's Oscar Piastri you race for?
McLaren. So this is going to be his first season. He's going to be a rookie this year. It's a goal out 50. He has no other cards really at all. He'll have his rookie card released next year, though. But that's a long time until then. It's kind of like the quarterback, Nate, situation where you don't have any cards these quarterbacks releasing. And Brock Purdy is going insane, doing really well. So is not to say this is a bad card. It's his future stars. It's his first ever Topps card. So it's a lot better than like a draft picks black 1-of-1 selling for 15 grand or whatever that was. It wasn't that much, like it wasn't 15, but still, that's the thought is that we would sell it prior to his rookies coming out with the McLaren gear, which I think will command massive prices when that happens.
Okay.
So we have 15 minutes left here. Nate, I really wanted this card, but I just have no idea how much it's worth. There's been like no sales of it. I don't know how much you played Legend of Zelda, Nate, when you're growing up.
Not at all.
All right. Well, Ben and I played Ocarina of Time for more than I'd like to admit on the N64. So this card, it just speaks to me like crazy. And I can't win it, though. There's one that sold for like $30. I think both the populations were selling tonight, both the two. And I think one sold earlier for like 30. Kind of reminds me of the Holland when we got the steal, and then the other one keeps on going. I kind of like this. This is not necessarily like, I think this was just like a spectacular like buy to flip or anything like that, but I am a huge fan of this Topps Now parallels that they made for this year. So the Mudryk rookie is actually this exact same type of card.
I looked that card up when I thought Arsenal was going to sign him. I was like, oh, maybe I should look him up, and I saw some Topps Now cards. I was like, oh, maybe I should buy. I'm super glad I didn't.
Oh, bro, those things are about to make a lot of people a lot of money. They are making people money. His debut was great. I know, like from a collector standpoint, lame. But for you, like if you went to Chelsea. But okay, my point is I like about this card is that the rest of the card is like black and white, obviously with the purple finish for the parallel, and then Pedri's colored. I think that's so awesome. I don't know, Nate.
That is pretty cool.
You don't see me moved like I am, but I think it's dope. Yeah, I know. Everyone sees something differently. But he had the winner today for Barcelona and stud. Always a stud. And I sold the Pedri auto we had.
You know how I know he's a stud?
Manny.
It's because we pull so much Pedri and so much Gavi in Slabstocks breaks.
You're a magnet for him.
It's true.
Oh, Nate, best soccer player of all time, Wayne Rooney, or is
That's
this Gareth
true.
Bale? Or is this Gareth Bale? I can't remember. Tell me.
No, it's Wayne Rooney.
Nate never could tell the difference between Wayne Rooney and Gareth Bale.
No.
Yeah.
Harry Kane and Gareth Bale.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Harry Kane and Gareth Bale, but still, two players that don't even play for the same.
You ever
same
see
country.
that? You ever see that Wayne Rooney bicycle kick?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I think I saw it in a commercial the other day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You ever see his MLS play? Like one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life, although I was in the MLS.
I don't think I have.
All right, I'm sending the link immediately after the stream, I think, and you're going to watch it after this because it'll take no more than 20 seconds. You just got to watch. I can't describe it. You won't be able to respect it enough.
Okay. Get on board with that.
This card hurts to look at because, like, I feel like when this happened, when we won, I was like, we're going back to back. We're winning the league. We just signed Lukaku. We have the striker we were missing to win the league. And then everyone gets hurt. And now a year later.
Dude, what? 2 weeks in a row now, or 2 games in a row, all I see on Twitter after Chelsea plays is Mason Mount just absolutely trash at passing up the field to his open teammates.
We're not talking about
Are you worried? Are you worried at all?
I'd be lying if I said no. I'd definitely be lying if I said no. He looks like a shell of himself. I don't know if you've ever watched a player on a team that you really like.
Yeah, Christian Yelich.
Okay, exact same situation.
Yeah,
he was amazing. He was basically the best young player in the Premier League last season even. Won a Champions League the year before that, and now you watch him and it's like, what happened, man? What happened? And I hope he figures it out. I hope that the change, the lack of quality in the starting lineup has affected his play. I hate for it to just affect his play in general, but I hope that that's a reason you bring in, more attackers. But I will say he's missing many passes he used to make in his sleep, which is scary because once you lose the vision, I don't know. I haven't played soccer, so I don't know if it comes back, but I hope it does.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like an 11 assist player, and now he can't spot runs.
That would be like Giannis just forgetting how to pass.
Yeah, a little bit easier to make basketball passes than like through balls probably in soccer. But
no,
I get what you're saying.
But
you're saying top quality passing, like not
like
being able.
You have this skill, and then all of a sudden you don't have it, and it's not like I understand if it's something to do with, like if it's a skill that involves smarts as opposed to like physical talent. Like if you were a pitcher and you had a nasty slider and 99-mile-per-hour fastball, and then you have a shoulder injury, and all of a sudden you're not the same player, like that makes sense. But I feel like passing is just kind of your brain, right?
Yeah. And I think I don't know. I got to watch to see with these new players, but my worry is that he's not even going to get the chance to play with these guys because he's just going to find the bench once we get that next winger in. We'll see. It's like Giannis forgetting how to dunk. That's true. I mean, if it's one of his top qualities and then he doesn't have it, I mean, that's not a good look at all. And I figure, you got the question about Max Meyer and Brandon Davis.
Yep. 2
nice cards of each of them. Ending tonight, actually, this blue auto here, PSA 10 Max Meyer, and then there was an orange sapphire at 75 of Brandon Davis. Do you remember when we used to like just every auction talk about, do we finally buy Eloy again? I didn't even ask you this time.
I do. Eloy is like if I was addicted to anything outside of ripping wax, it's the idea that Eloy Jimenez is going to turn into a 40 home run hitter.
I've heard you say it for at least 3 straight years.
Of course, you have to stay healthy to turn into a 40 home run hitter. But I don't know. It's like there's so much talent there. He was so good in the minors. And it's like he just needs to play 162 games, and I think he has it, but he hasn't been able to play games.
I know. Sad.
Kind of like Nick Senzel career going on here.
This card is super intriguing to me. Any card that's like a pop 2 from 2008 numbered, I haven't really seen much of it before. This is Candace Parker from Press Pass.
I've seen those cards before. Not specifically that one, but the Press Pass.
So I used to open Press Pass packs all the time when I was younger. Like huge Texas football fan. I was chasing Colt McCoy and previously Jamal Charles and players like that.
And Jordan Shipley.
Jordan Shipley, yes, big time. Yo, this was a $330 card one ended for just in September.
But I'd say that's worth a buy just to Just to see.
I think it's awesome. $60.
Hey,
And it's
what do we always say? It's January now. It's end of January, which means the National is only 6 months away, if you can believe that.
dude, that kind of scares me when you say that.
And what do we always say?
Fun stuff in the booth, bring the eyes.
That's right.
Exactly. But I think someone else really wants this too, because now I went up $40 and I get outbid. There's a lot of nice stuff. There's a lot of nice mount stuff on PWCC next week. I'm gonna have to check that out, my man. Is Eloy more of a disappointment than Luis Robert?
Oh yeah, at least Luis Robert has been playing. You know, Eloy has been injured a ton in the last. Now Robert has also been injured. Don't get me wrong, but Eloy, 55 games, 55. Oh well, 2020, 55 games and 84 games the last 2 years. Not great. And Aaron, check this out. 84 games, he had an 858 OPS coming back from injury. 16 home runs. We get him fully healthy, full off season, and I mean, he was basically on pace for 32 home runs, full off season, healthy year. I'm still firmly on that Eloy 40 home run train. You heard it here first. I'm not off of it.
I was gonna say Nate's still believing. And also anyone who is getting any buys tonight, please let us know. Drop a comment throughout the stream and let us know what you pick up, just like the SCP just did. Picked up a 2021 Upper Deck Dazzlers Pink Cole Caulfield rookie PSA 10 gem mint. Passed on the Young Guns though. Nate, I don't know if you heard the news, man. So we just launched our first puck drop episode this Thursday night, or last Thursday night. Doing really well. A lot of people commenting, a lot of people viewing it, a lot of people messaging me about it. Everyone had good thoughts about Greg. But he's talking about Cole Caulfield, this guy up there in Montreal. Just after we were talking about him on Monday's live, season-ending shoulder injury.
Oh no.
Yep, he was going for the first 40-goal year there in a while.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man,
hey, I just you'd be proud of me. I put a plug for that puck drop in the Daily Slab for tomorrow.
Oh, very proud, very proud. Yeah, if you're a hockey fan, make sure to check that out. Last Thursday we launched our first episode of puck drop, thanks to Greg, and you can learn all about the different rookie cards. All
Man, that stinks. We were just looking at the Leaf Metal Universe 101, right? That was Cole Caulfield.
Literally, we're just looking.
Was he the kid from Madison?
Dude, he played at Madison, yes, from Stevens Point, but yep. Yeah, it stinks. It stinks. But hey, guess what? You know what happens with injuries, Nate?
Somebody else gets to play in his stead and then take his spot.
I was gonna no.
Oh wait, we're not all Trey Lance. Sorry.
Very depressing there.
You get to buy cheap.
Exactly. I'm gonna be looking, man. 2 months from now, and the Canadians are just at the bottom. And Cole's out. I'm gonna try to find a nice card. Pat says, "Wait, what? Yep, it is true." And Scott says, "One of my first Trout 2011 Bowman draft card. Congratulations to Scott for winning that tonight." And Tom Bullard says, "PSA 9 2018 Panini National Convention rookie Rainbow Spokes at 49. Josh Allen, college uni and tough loss today, but still my boy and team." Tom, we love to hear that. We love to hear that. That means that you are a true fan, a true collector. And yes, I have bought some Mason Mount cards recently, even with the devastating play. I gotta say though, it's also helped me get sick cards for very cheap prices. I'll have to say that. So I'll take it in some regards. Now I want to get better, obviously.
Oh yeah, did I say Leaf? I didn't mean Leaf. Fleer.
I didn't even hear you say Leaf. I didn't even hear you say Leaf. No, yeah, it is Fleer. Well, technically Skybox Metal Universe.
Whatever. I can't keep track anymore.
Yeah, Skybox Metal Universe, a new hockey set they released this a couple weeks ago. And everyone is coming on the puck drop show and commenting now that Greg jinxed it. But let's be real.
Hey, all publicity is good publicity.
So I don't know if you saw this card, Nate, when you're scanning some items. This was a 2009. This is
I did. I put that in the email.
Shout out Daily
Slab. Very nice card.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. And for anyone that doesn't know, by the way, a lot of you have pulled up to all our Slab.
Oh, 25,000, huh?
Yeah, 25,000. Yeah. So a lot of y'all have came to our Slabstox Sunday show, but I don't know how many of you actually read the Daily Slab newsletter. I'm sure there's a number of people in here, but we send out the Daily Slab newsletter every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. We rotate the content out between new headlines, new trenders, and then there's also a bunch of different links directly to items here on PWCC 3 days a week. So if you do sign up, it's 100% free. Slabstox.com. I just put the URL in the comments. Just put in your email address. You'll start receiving it tomorrow morning. And look for Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 90 different links directly to your newsletter for cards in the auction that we're looking at. Maybe you want to take a peek at too, but this Wayne Gretzky was one of them. And it's a 2009 The Cup Tribute patch auto, number not 10. So it actually says rookie on there. And 2005 was the year they first released the RPAs. This is the design that had the Ovechkin and the Crosby. 25K, man. That's a lot. Wayne Gretzky cards from modern day don't sell for like a whole lot because there's kind of a lot of autos out there of him. But there's clearly something special about this card with being the retro, like modeled after the original, the Cup RPA. This might be the only time they ever made a card like this for Gretzky, but 25K, man, that's massive.
That's a nice card.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a really nice card.
All right, let's give this a good old refresh and see how many items are left. So people took note of this Ronaldo. It's definitely starting to get up there in price. I mean, this card has got a spectacular auto on it too, honestly. Like, for as difficult as some of Ronaldo's autos can get, streaky wise and off sticker wise, this one looks very solid. 207 cards. We're 3 minutes away from 10.
Holy smokes!
I know.
Well, how many of those are going to end by 10?
Very soon. Or yeah, that's true. Once 10 hits, probably another 80 go, and then they'll go down pretty quickly. But the Cardboard Collaborators have picked up a 2006 Bowman White, 125. Devin Hester, PSN9 Pop 1 done higher rookie. It's a very fun card. Very, very fun. Just join what?
There's those guys from your youth where every time you're just terrified of them. And two Chicago guys. Alfonso Soriano, for some reason, every time he stepped to the plate against the Brewers, I was fairly confident he was going to hit a home run, and I'm pretty sure it was close. I think he probably had his highest career OPS against the Brewers. And Devin Hester, anytime you had to punt or kick off, it was are they going to end up on the 40-yard line or the 50-yard line or a touchdown?
How many people are saying that about our guy Keyshawn Nixon now?
Dude.
Who is he a free agent this?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I was just going to say, man, how it actually feels amazing, though, to have someone who can take kickoffs back.
Yeah. Who doesn't fumble kickoffs? Shout out to Amari Rodgers.
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, I can't believe it took that long.
I think Amari Rodgers had more fumbles. Don't quote me on this. This is a lie. But Amari Rodgers, I'm pretty sure, probably had more fumbles this year than he did returns that went past the 25-yard line.
You say you don't, this is probably a lie, but that sounds kind of accurate to me.
Yeah.
You see us coming here from the SCP. Just joined the Superfractor Club 2020 Bowman Chrome Superfractor Auto Ryan Baruki.
Heyo.
Or Sapphire Superfractor, not Auto. That sounds fun. Sounds like a fun card. And Tom says, every morning, always checking the budget buys. Especially appreciate y'all. I'm glad you enjoy the Daily Slab, Tom. I have a few footy cards won from the Daily Slab newsletter. There you go. Congrats. Garrett says, I decided to start collect hockey, and then 2 weeks later, the hockey podcast releases. Great timing. Well, guess what, Garrett? More on the way every other week for Puck Drop. And BC says, for years, Wayne didn't do any autographs and probably doesn't do very many now. I still feel like I see a decent amount of his autographs releasing from actual card sets. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I just see them because they released years ago, but maybe that's true.
Also, can we just say that Greg, what a great guy.
Dude, I'm so happy that he's producing those episodes, not only because he's an amazing guy, he knows his stuff. The authenticity of having a Canadian on there is great. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that, hearing he's got an excellent accent, I think, from Montreal. He's so much fun to talk to too. He's such a nice guy, loves the hobby.
We need him to do it in French as well.
I know, but he does do it in French. His podcast. I wonder if he just records the second episode real quick that runs at the very, double it up where first 15 minutes English, second is French. That'd be, or funny. Second 15. That'd be interesting for sure. I still struggle. This is kind of what Jordan brought up earlier. The 50,000 different.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? And not only what is that? Oh, that was loud. Sorry. No, but why is it called black, white, gold?
Where's the white?
Yeah, the little lines in between. Well, there's black lines and red. So I'm
black,
very
white,
confused.
red, gold. The red's probably because of the Rockets, I assume, or maybe not. Maybe it's just the design. Either way, I just don't get it. But $4,200, man, there's a lot of different things you can find for $4,200.
But again, it is a 101. It is Jalen Green. A lot of Houston Rockets fans out there. So I can understand that. Like you're telling me if that was we won't use Giannis. I guess I don't
I'm
really have a good comparison
yeah,
for
I'm telling you, I wouldn't care about that card. I would literally
okay,
go
if
buy
that was Christian Watson, you would say to yourself, and you are a huge Packer fan, you wouldn't say to yourself, I have to have it because it's a 101.
No, I would not say it to myself. I would literally go
Okay.
and buy like a patch auto off of like 50 or something instead.
Okay, just checking.
No, I have no desire to own a card like that. Shout out to Jeremy from Sports Cards Live. He did a little Instagram video on this card actually this week. I saw it's a 52 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuk. Old hockey card, obviously high grade, but looks cool. I know he's talking about it. I don't know nearly as much as Jeremy in hockey, so I don't want to try to reenact what he said. Y'all can go look up his video on that because he did a very good job on that.
Hey, how many cards are left?
There is 56, and I'm glad he brought that up because I've been kind of dropping the ball a little bit. Not gonna lie, I noticing
Well,
when
I could be reminding you, but I keep
well. It's all good. The white is back in the middle on the front is color matched. Yeah, so I think he's just saying like the lines behind it maybe are it's gone now.
Real music. Are the Falcons going to be able to figure out how to use him though? That's my biggest fear.
Hopefully, he was one of the highest drafted or the highest drafted tight end of all time.
Yeah.
Alex, I'm not sure exactly what this is. Nate, do you understand this? I'm not sure what Oriole Jackets is.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure either.
Garrett, congrats on the Max Meyer. And also Alex, if you are able to clarify that, might be able to help a little bit more. Garrett picked up the Max Meyer in PWCC, decided to take the gamble. One of my really good high school friends, huge Max Meyer fan. I actually bought him a gift here on the PWCC auction probably about a year ago.
He pitched at Minnesota, right?
Pitched in Minnesota. Pitched locally, I believe, as well. In high school, I think. I don't know that for sure. I know Sam Carlson pitched at Burnsville. I don't know if he's ever going to make it, honestly. I thought he was going to. He's a first or second round pick. But he got injured pretty early on. I know. We are almost down to 24 cards. Almost down. And Real Music thinks that Desmond Ridder will do a better job. That could very well
be get on board with that. It also helps having a young quarterback like that might feel like he needs a security blanket. And if you can become the security blanket for a young QB, like Kyle Pitts, I imagine should become for a young QB, you can get a lot of stats.
Okay. So when we say buy the card, not the grade, dude, this card is freaking awesome. Yeah, I think this is an on-card die cut from Finest X Factor Gold Auto out of 5.
Wait, how's that a die cut?
What?
Oh, it's crinkled.
Yeah, it's like a decal edge.
Oh. Wow, that's an amazing card.
It is. It's a PSA 4, but I mean, how many times has this card popped up? I mean, I haven't looked, but maybe
PSA 4 on a out of 5 card. Like, who cares?
Yeah, and oh man, that card's amazing. Super, super sick. Back in 2021, a BGS 9.5 of the gold out of 50 sold for $1,200. But this is obviously out of 5. And
I'm still a little bit confused because he said Alex Rodriguez, baseball legend, but he said Oriole jacket.
Maybe it's like an era jacket. Like they made some like cool like Mitchell and Ness jacket that had like A-Rod on the back of an Orioles jacket, and it's worth a ton of money. I wouldn't know, but we have to pick a card. So I'm picking Science Red because I don't care. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go with this right here. I guess it's green now, but this Kabutops from Pocket Monsters.
All right, slide a little bit lower. I'm not feeling good about any of those. All right, I'm gonna go with the 1969 O-Pee-Chee 4-1.
Tim Hortons on this card. Let's go, legend himself, man. Best coffee in Canada. Actually, probably best coffee in North America. Honestly, that place was awesome when I went there, and they got hockey packs there. I would trade Duncan for a Tim Hortons here.
Wait, so are you telling me that if the place has packs of cards, that makes it legendary in your status? Because that means Cracker Barrel has to be legendary in your status.
No, Nate, they literally have Tim Hortons branded Upper Deck cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like an Upper Deck Series 1 pack. Like if you buy like a drink, and I think you can spend $1 and get a pack, and they got like autos inserted in them and stuff. I know Hank pulled a redemption for Swayman auto. I think the Bruins guy. Bruins goalkeeper. All right, we got 18 cards left. Biggest one left right now is the DeMar DeRozan Logo Man, numbered out of 2 BGS 8. And do not forget, we do have one giveaway coming up tonight. I know just one tonight. Probably next week we'll do 2 though, so stay tuned for that. And it's going to be that Terrence Mann white mosaic number 25 PSA 9. Mine is moving on, of course. I mean, that's a surprise.
Oh no.
I didn't wait. I did
Well,
win.
it's not really fair because you took the Pokemon card, and that's my move.
Hey, I won last week. I'm pretty sure.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure I won.
Chat.
No,
Did Aaron win last week?
Yeah, I'm 99% sure.
I'm getting back up on that.
Eric says the Gavi is one I'm selling. Well, good luck on the Gavi. You made it to like the final 16 cards. I think that we only did that like once or twice. That was very riveting when we like when the last couple of cards left. Tom's giving you the business, bro. Come on, Nate. Yeah, there's a set released every year through Tim Horton Upper Deck. Some pretty sick chase stuff sometimes.
Well, I guess I better get to now with my ID. I can just drive across the Canadian border, and I live pretty close now.
Incognito says I won. I did win.
So I might just drive over the border and find the closest Tim Hortons, and then get as many packs as I can, and then open them up in front of Aaron's face.
Wow, real mean. I love it. You couldn't have just said open up the packs. You had to say my face.
I had to get the flight in there.
TB says, do you know if you can get Upper Deck packs at Tim Hortons in the US or just the ones in Canada? So I did hear they put some in, I think, on the East Coast now. I think you can get them at the
Ooh, you want to refresh so I can see how far mine moves?
Yep. I think you can get them at the ones in the US because I was talking to some people that said like, oh, the packs used to bring so much more value in the secondary market when they're only released in Canada, but now you can get them in the US too.
Lame.
Wow, that's crazy. Real music. Another number 1 recruit switched from the Gators now to Colorado. Coach Prime is building a team there, no doubt.
Hey, Kansas just signed a 4-star wide receiver recruit, which
really
not normally big news, but
well, honestly, like we got our first like 4-star recruit for receiver probably in like a decade.
Not feeling good about this.
2 transfers actually.
Oh boy.
Nate's down for me, man.
Man, I'm on a cold streak. Ugh.
Sorry, buddy.
Am I the only one that ended too? Oh no, 2 ended. Okay, 2 ended. No, it was 7. It was only 7 cards. I'm the only one that ended.
Go.
That's tough. Again.
The Gavi's still going too. I have like 5 Tim Hortons within 30 minutes. I'm in the USA, but we also have Tim Hortons statue in Harbor Square and 716 Square for Buffalo Sabres. Big Canadian love around here. That's awesome. BC Jason's pretty sure they're just in Canada so far. Like any set, there's a lot of garbage autos are like 1 in a million. Maybe I heard wrong, but I thought I heard that they were at American Tim Hortons as well. But I could be wrong.
Hey, can we ban Peg Junk?
Peg Junk says Nate is cooked. Nate is cooked. I like that Peg. Bearishbo says cheap card, but won a Curry Netmarble. Hope to get a grade in. Good luck, Bearishbo. We hope it does well for you. All right, 10 seconds left here. I'm moving on. I hope that these 3 cards end. Oh, I got another bid, Nate. That's bad card. Or that's bad
news. Bad news, Bears.
Bad omen. Bad omen. All right, well, I'm top 3 right now. Nate, can you take me winning 2 times in a row?
No, I wouldn't be able to. Hey, random, super random here, but while we got time, you see this?
Yeah, I saw that.
So this is a card from my childhood that was sitting in a thing. The corners are not good. The surface is not good. It is actually a pretty nice looking card outside of a couple corners and some surface problems. Can you believe that a PSA 10 of this sold for $750?
Is that 2003 Contenders? 2002.
2002 season ticket. Tom Brady.
Wow.
Like, young Nathan should have put a sleeve on it, number 1, put it into a top loader, number 2, as opposed to just putting it in a top loader with no sleeve, and then never touched it. But young Nathan liked to touch the cards. So
young Aaron was, I've never been that organized about a lot, but man, those cards, they'd be sleeved, they'd be top loaded. My good cards were not getting damaged. That's how my Aaron Rodgers PSA 10 rookie, Kobe Bryant PSA 9 from 96.
See, I sorted my cards and put my cards in binders and took them out of binders, and
I did binders too for
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, why couldn't this be a Tom Brady 2000 Pacific? Come on, make that into a Tom Brady.
That'd be nice. Peg Junk says best quality hang here on YouTube. Well, Peg Junk, we appreciate that a lot. We hope you enjoy every Sunday night. I really appreciate you for joining. I know that much. Oscar says, I'm with Aaron, LOL. Oscar's always been very careful with his cards ever since I've known him, Oscar. Props to you, my man. Hockey, how many of Wayne Gretzky's brothers played in the NHL? I think 2. No, 1. Well, 1 guaranteed because they're the highest point combination brothers in NHL history. I think his brother has 10 points and Wayne Gretzky's got like the 2000 something.
This is like Barry Bonds and his father have the most home runs as a combined duo in MLB history.
Yep. All right, we're dropping the giveaway line here for the Terrence Mann. 3 minutes, 10:15 p.m. Central Time will be the last time you can, or that's when the giveaway will close. So drop your number ones in the chat right now to get in on the Terrence Mann. We cooking like Holland today.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can handle. That'd be just an absolute tough scene for me.
It'd be a big tough scene.
2023. Wait, I won once in 2023 already, right?
You did. You won like the very first episode. We both have won once.
Oh boy.
I still have yet to win this guessing the giveaway person.
January. But we made it through a full year of episodes without you being able to guess it, right?
Yeah. Devastating.
Wait, or is this the full year of episodes?
No, we went 52 weeks without me guessing a random.org person on the very top.
Okay.
Technically, last week I guessed that Peter would win the trivia random, but there's only 3 people in that. So
I haven't won in like 6 months, so.
Yeah, but you at least won at one point. Okay, well, it's Wayne Gretzky's done. Man, I'm going up against a hat trick today to try to beat with a Kabutops. But, Pop 1 ungraded higher. It's the only place you can get it. So guess what? Bid away, people.
I can't believe you took the Pokemon before I could. That's so rude.
I knew you were going to. I said, hey, that's under $100 Pokemon card. I got to have it. All right, everyone, 2 more minutes to get your numbers in. And if you're just chilling here right now, waiting for these cards in, waiting to see if you win the giveaway, please hit that like on the episode.
What if they both end?
I win. You know how it works. Come on, I'll take them both ending.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Oh my!
It's just an absolute slap in the face.
Big slap in the face. 2 weeks in a row, man, back to back. Nate is down bad to start the year here on Slapsack Sundays.
You know what it is? Ever since I got this stupid new ring light in my office, it brought me bad luck.
Makes you look better.
Not many things can, but I guess a ring light can.
I get on my meeting with Nate tomorrow morning, and he shows me the ring light just ripped out of the desk,
just smashed on the ground. If you win next week, I'm breaking this ring light. That's all there is to it.
Oh man, please don't. That was not cheap. Tom says it sounds like the Tim Horton UD cards are exclusive to Canada. There you go. I guess I was wrong.
Sweet. Then I'm definitely driving. I'm driving to Canada tomorrow. Aaron, I'm not doing any work.
I try to get on the meeting and Nate's in the car. Hey, Aaron, I'm almost in Vancouver right now.
Let's check this out here.
Dan snuck in at the very end there. Oh wait, no, never mind. Dan was in well in advance for the giveaway. That was a glitch. All right, just gotta compile the name list quick. It'll take me about 2 seconds. Well, more like 2 minutes, but you get the point.
Oh, Aaron.
Yeah. How far is it to get to Tim Hortons?
Let's see. Well,
I Excel it open. No bueno. Oh, there we go.
2 hours and 36 minutes.
Nate, I gotta say, opening one of those packs, very fun when it's in Canada. Getting the coffee and donut, very fun, good donut. But if you were to drive 2 hours to go get those packs, you'd be so disappointed because most of them are just like, base.
Yeah, I can imagine. But still,
but they're fun. All right, here we go.
And it wasn't about getting the cards as much as it was harassing you. Yeah.
I feel it. Here we go. Good luck, everyone.
Ooh,
Three.
the other one's 2 hours and 35 minutes, so a minute closer.
Oh, save you a minute. Nice. 60 more seconds to get a little bit of work done. All right. 35 people. Good luck. First spot gets the win tonight. It's just the Terrence Mann. We got 35 people. We got one randomization, 2. I got to win this, man. I'm going DJ Quicksilver. I believe he shows up all the time. I believe number 23, MJ, is going to come home.
All right. I think I went with In Memory of Tomorrow recently, and I'm feeling good about it again. In Memory of Tomorrow.
Which number was that? Can't see.
27.
27. Well, it's right down there. All right. 23 and 27. Here we go. 3. Oh, I saw the D. I thought I got it. You would have been really upset if I would have gotten this too. Jordan, man. Jordan gets condemned to last place for showing up here and giving us 30 minutes. You end up at 28, and I ended up.
I dropped a spot. There's only one giveaway, so we've got worse.
Yep, just one giveaway. It is going to. I didn't even say it. I realized. Congrats to IDK. IDK, you ended up winning. info@slabstocks.com. Please email us. Go up to your My PWCC in the top right, scroll down and click on preferences, and then send us your super long character string, and that will get you the card that you won, the Terrence Mann. Now, I just saw all these things getting bids. There's some really nice soccer cards in it next week. Really see golds from this 2019 Prism EPL set. This is the first Prism EPL set ever. 410. Obviously, it's going to go up, but this was just noticed it's coming up next week. So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Join us next week, Slabstock Sundays, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday. I appreciate everyone joining once again. Congrats to IDK, Liverpool fan. I now say we do 4 randomizations at Slabstocks. I'm just kidding, but you might be in the mix for that Mo Salah next week. Chance has really enjoyed these Sundays. They have become a regular thing for me every evening before winding down, before bed. Well, guess what, Chance? That means a lot to us. Thank you. And I do have to give a big shout out. Thanks again to Jordan. Meant to lie. I hope people learned from him or has additional questions from at Jordan's Cards 41 on Instagram to follow him and connect with him. And we'll see who comes on in a couple shows in the future. So appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you all tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for Slabstocks Live.
See you guys.